I've been thinking a lot about hope lately. I know. It's probably a word that you've heard so many times by now that its meaning has been beaten out of it, potentially at the same time as whatever amount of it you once had was beaten out of you. But if I could give you just one reason to listen to me, to grant me just a moment of your time, just the next 8 minutes to speak at you about a topic as oversaturated with pontification as hope, it would be this. I am not a naturally hopeful person. I try to be. I try to be with every fiber of my being. If trying to be hopeful and being hopeful were the same thing, I would be constantly irradiating the most blinding of hopeful lights, illuminating every room and moment I existed within. But instead, I often find myself shrouded in the darkness that is hopelessness. Stuck in it, like a thick gunk you try to shake off, but find with every thrashing movement you just grow more and more stuck. But not right now. No, for just one moment, one precious moment, like this old lamp cutting through the darkness of this somewhat creepy room I'm in, hope has cut through the hopelessness. I should clarify that I wrote this script last night in my room, and I'm not speaking off the cuff, but my words are genuine. This, I promise you. Anyway, where was I? Hopelessness. I truly believe with all of my heart that before we can embrace hope, we have to face hopelessness head on. So, let's be honest for a second. Let us say openly what we fear to say privately. If you stick with me, I promise that if we trudge through this gunk together, we will emerge on the other side together as well. The world might actually be ending. An assertion that felt alarmist and hyperbolic just 10 years ago is now seeming like, if not the only logical view, certainly a logical view. For many millions of us, the rot has been slow, almost trivial. Higher bills, hotter summers, a little more toxicity on Twitter. For many other millions of us, things couldn't have gotten much worse to begin with. Their stomachs could not get more empty, their bones could not get more frail. It's worth reminding that as we fret over the ending of our modern world, there are countless souls that have slaved and died, and continue to slave and die to maintain it. And every life that is lost to hunger or poverty or imperialist war is a world ended all its own. But, yes, as humanity blazes past the red lines of global warming with no signs of slowing, as wealth accumulates into the hands of fewer and fewer men, and as humanity handles with all the unhumbled caution and grace of a newborn baby technology which, for the first time ever, threatens to replace our clumsy hands with cold, unfeeling precision, the world as we know it might be ending. And you very well might feel hopeless. And I'm not going to try and get you to not feel hopeless, at least not right away. In fact, I encourage you to pause this video just for a moment and sit in that feeling. Don't run from it, don't hide from it, don't try and fight it, just let it wash over you. Close your eyes and just for a moment let yourself feel completely and utterly hopeless. Okay, now open them. And let's talk about humanity. I think about humanity, what it means to be human a lot. It's a funny question. What does it mean to be human? Because it's really something only us humans would ask. I'm sure to any alien species it would sound completely meaningless. What do you mean? What does it mean to be human? It doesn't mean anything. You just are. Which I think maybe means the question itself, the fact that it's being asked, answers it. To be human is to be able to do things like wonder what it means to be human. But I'm getting off track. Very often I think about the so-called human condition with a sort of bitterness. I very strongly believe that if we were just 5% smarter, us humans on average, we'd probably already live in a world with flying cars and without senseless war. And if we were just 5% more empathetic, we probably would have vanquished hunger and homelessness as soon as we had the productive capabilities to do so, which we have for the last few decades, by the way. Like, we're just shy of the sufficient levels of intelligence and kindness, which perhaps are the same thing. Just shy of a utopia. But on the flip side, if we were just 5% dumber or 5% more hateful, well, we probably all would already be dead. So, as it stands, we live sort of on the knife's edge, in an imperfectly perfect balance between intelligence and ignorance, sin and virtue, love and hate. And the result, well, it's the world we live in. A world of beauty and countless human wonders, but also so much suffering and blood, and the seemingly endless death spiral we find ourselves locked in, heading unceasingly towards extinction. It is under this reality that many fall apart, give in to nihilism, becoming paralyzed, unable to function. Transparently, I have found myself in this state more often and for more time than I am willing to admit. Others take a different approach, burying their heads in the sand, closing their eyes to the many problems of our day, hoping they can take whatever privilege of comfort they have been allotted and run away with it. But our situation is not something that can be run away from. So, if you take this approach, the dark specter of nihilistic truth will forever shadow you, just 2 steps behind, waiting for you to stumble. This false dichotomy, however, between being overwhelmed with the hopelessness of our situation and living a life of intentional ignorance is propagated intentionally to keep you passive. But here is the ultimate message that I am here to share. That isn't being alive. Being alive is a hopeless endeavor, and you've always known that. I mean, you were always going to die, but you breathe anyway. The universe is destined to be extinguished, but it exists despite that. At the beginning of this video, I presupposed that trying to be hopeful and being hopeful weren't the same thing, but they are. Hope is the fight. Look, the environment is dying. Freedom is on the decline, hate is on the rise, human expression is being replaced, and human connection is being phased out. But you can fight back against those truths. I can't promise you that we will win. In fact, I can tell you that we probably won't. But that isn't the point. To be alive is to fight. So goddamn it, go be alive.